Hi again, everybody, and welcome to the 2023-2024 Chippewa Valley Cable Television Basketball Preview Show. I'm your host, Brad Fedders. We recently attended preseason practices at our two district high schools, Chippewa Valley and Dakota, to find out what the teams have been working on and to hear their outlooks for the upcoming season. CVC TV sports analyst Jeff Vitale will join us throughout the show to provide his insight, and we'll also give you broadcast schedules for all four of our teams so you don't miss any of the action. It's a full show, so let's get started. We start out our coverage with the Chippewa Valley girls team. Jackie Mauer's squad will once again play out of the MAC Blue as it is the second year of the biannual alignment. Taking a look at last year's MAC Blue standings, it was the Marysville Vikings that took home the MAC Blue title with a 9-1 record. The South Lake Cavaliers finished 2 games behind at 7-3, while the Patriots of Cosno took third place with a 6-4 record. The Big Reds finished the season 8-17 overall with a MAC Blue league mark of 3-7, which was good enough for a 4th place tie with the L'Anse Creuse Lancers. Sterling Heights Stevenson rounded out the MAC Blue with their 2-8 league record. Chippewa Valley was able to pick up 2 victories in the district tournament, including a thrilling overtime victory over L'Anse Creuse in the first round. The Big Reds would eventually fall in the district title game to Fraser by the final score of 38-24. Chippewa Valley will look to take some of that momentum from last year's postseason run into this season as they hope to contend for a league title.
Take me back to last season. Just kind of give me your overall thoughts on last year.
I think last year we didn't start off the way we wanted to. We started to gel a little bit mid-season and finished the season definitely on a better note than we started.
Last year, I think we started off a little shaky in the beginning, but we picked it up towards the end of the season.
We made it to district finals, and we were really excited about that. And I think that our team bonding got really close at the end, and that's why we made it so far.
We found our chemistry within the team, and we became a really good group of girls. Very good experience.
We were competitive in our league. We competed with every team we played, so we're looking to do that again. I think our league's going to be tough.
This year, we're trying to start off with a winning record, try to lose 1-9, make it past district final, hopefully win it.
I think we're going to win a lot. I think that we have a good shot this year.
We have a lot of girls this year, so it's going to be a little harder to find that rhythm with each other, but once we get it down, I think we have a lot of potential. We have some really good talent, some really good girls on the team.
My point guard, Mackenzie Harris, she is a 2-year varsity player. She's a junior. We definitely expect her to have the ball in her hands a lot more this year than she did last year, and she was one of our leading scorers as well, so we're definitely looking at her offense as well as her defense. Angelina Munson is a senior. She's a 2-year varsity player. She's someone that we are excited to have back defensively for us. She does a lot of those little things, gets loose balls, gets deflections, is tough, if the ball comes by her, she's like a magnet. So she's someone that you don't want to drive against. And then we have Anshul Watson, was my leading rebounder and scorer last year. So we're looking for big minutes from her because last year she got hurt in our first league game and we didn't have her. So we're hoping to keep her healthy this year. They're really excited to get the season started, and I think that will be a good indicator of how our season's going to go.
I think our first district game is probably going to be the most intense game we have because we get really excited for playoffs.
If we face Fraser again this year, definitely want to get after them. We lost to them last year, district finals.
What does it mean to you to be the head coach here at Chippewa Valley and lead these young ladies?
It means a lot. I've been coaching at Chippewa since 2001, so I've been here a minute, and it means a lot to be able to give them the experience that I didn't get to have as a player.
She keeps us in the gym a lot, and she keeps us going like against each other, like very competitive. She's a great coach overall.
I think she has a lot of knowledge about basketball, and she played college, so I think she knows what she's talking about. She gets us hyped, gets us excited for games.
Coach Maurer brings a lot to the table, honestly. She brings us together as a team for sure. To me, being a Big Red is just being a part of the school, being a part of the team, the community, just everything. I'm really proud to say I'm a Big Red. We're a really good team, really good school.
I now welcome Jeff Vitale into the studio. And Jeff, it's been a while since the Chippewa Valley girls basketball team was in the mix. 2018, their last winning season. How do they get back there, maybe even contend in the MAC Blue?
The Big Reds had a nice run at the end of last year, with a young group. And I think going forward, that young group with that taste of it, I think that hunger going forward, I think they're really excited about this season. I was around for 5 years of that, I got to see it firsthand. But man, high school basketball is such a long grind. November to March is a long time. You have 3 breaks, you have lots of practice and lots of downtime. So the biggest thing is going to be keeping your focus and just kind of stay to the goal. Those league games are so important.
You mentioned you were a member of Jackie Maurer's coaching staff for quite a while. Give us a little insight of what Coach Maurer does to make your girls better basketball players.
There's a lot of skill building and development going on, lots of shooting. I think every coach in the league preaches defense, but Coach Maurer, being a player, played at Macomb, played at Chippewa, knows the value of defense. Granted, you played a couple teams in that schedule that put some points up on you, but for the most part in Blue Division play, their defense was pretty good. So I'm pretty excited to see what they can do this year. I've seen a lot of these girls training, kind of getting ready. So looking forward to this year to see what the Big Reds can do.
Plenty of opportunities to see your Lady Big Reds in action all season long right here on Chippewa Valley Cable Television. Scheduled televised games include the January 19th matchup against the defending MAC Blue champs, the Marysville Vikings. A January 23rd tilt with the Lancers of L'Anse Creuse. A game against the Sterling Heights Stevenson Titans on February 2nd. And a non-league contest against the Titans of Warren Woods Tower on February 9th. We now turn our attention to the Dakota girls basketball team. The Cougars finished last year with an overall record of 14-11. Their 6-4 record in the MAC Red was 3 games short of Grosse Pointe North for the league title. The Eisenhower Eagles finished in second place at 7-3, while Port Huron and L'Anse Creuse North finished in a tie for 4th with 3-7 records. The Grosse Pointe South Blue Devils finished in last at 2-8. The Cougars captured a district title last season, defeating the Anchor Bay Tars in the championship game 40-39. They would then drop a heartbreaker in the regional semifinals to MAC Red champions Grosse Pointe North on a last-second three-pointer. Dakota brings back quite a few returning players to Coach McCune's lineup, and they hope they have what it takes to make another long postseason run.
Last year we made a really good run. I feel like we started off the season a little bit slow, but then as the season progressed, we got a lot closer, like a family more.
We were really young. We had 3 freshmen on varsity, 2 seniors, and a lot of juniors.
Last year we were learning. I think it was a team bonding year.
At first we struggled in the beginning of the season. Some days it would be on and off.
We progressed as the season went along. Did some roadblocks, particularly at Regina, where we got together after the game and talked about taking accountability, and we kind of took off after that point.
Once we really found that connection, it was good from there. And we started winning our games, and we had more fun in practice, and we were ready and set for the game every time.
We went into districts, on a high note and lost in regionals on a tough, last-second shot.
Whew, when that ball went through the hoop, to be honest, I didn't know how to feel. Like, it was just complete shock.
She just threw it up. I'm like, no way that's going in. And then it banked, and everybody was just like shocked. Like, nobody knew that was going to happen.
We're coming back stronger this year, and Hopefully we get as far as we can and on a good note.
If you look at it on paper right now, this could be one of my better teams I've had here.
We have a lot of returning players this year. It's a more tight-knit group.
We know what we have to get there now. We still have almost all our players. Only 2 seniors graduated last year.
We have a lot of skills. We have rebounders. We have hustle defensive players. We have guards that can handle the ball and bring it up. I mean, that's huge in high school basketball.
I knew that I had to come back stronger this season, to play harder, to come back with more dubs than last year.
We honestly have many more this year, and I feel like with all the players we have, we can make it really far. We definitely made our goal to win districts, and now this year we're just going to keep moving up. Now regionals onto states.
My goal is that we're going to be the team to beat in the red.
I want us to win states. Of course, it's my last year.
Grosse Pointe North lost some players, but they also bring back 2 of their key players from last year. I think Port Huron's going to be better this year. Grosse Pointe South will be good again too. So
We're all going to have bad games, but we just need to push through it and help one another along the way. Just be supportive.
I'm really looking forward to the Grosse Pointe North games. It's really going to be a great game to watch.
I'd say Henry Ford, to be honest. I'm just excited to play them. I just know that will be a good game.
Versus Renaissance, it's a big team. They're really good. They have D1 players, and I think there'll be good competition for us.
I think Grosse Pointe North, because I feel like we just got to show them that we're the team this year, and I feel like we can get them this year.
we have a really good junior class coming in. Danica Dimitrievich tore ACL last year, was out for the season. Worked extremely hard in the offseason to get to where she's at. She's going to be a beast on the boards. She's really going to help our team a lot this season. Along with Gabby Brooks Foster, Brooklyn Garavaglia, Gia Rizzo, who was a big help last year, should help us again this year.
Let's talk about Coach McCune for a second. What does he bring to the table to make you guys better basketball players?
He prides defense, which really is the most important key, and he brings the energy with us.
He brings determination, confidence to the team. He helps us, like, if we're slacking down, he knows to pick us up.
He brings like a family bond, kind of, like he's always there for us.
He really brings us a person to fall back on when we need it.
He helps me a lot individually. He's just really supportive and he really cares.
He's the rock of our team. He really inspires us to do our best and pushes us in practice. Overall, great coach.
Simone Andrews, 4-year varsity basketball player who broke our school record for scoring last year, but she brings so much more to our team other than scoring. Defensively, she leads us with steals. Offensively, she leads us with assists. You know, she's just the whole package. Tambry Williams, outstanding young lady. Has come so far from her freshman year, 3-year varsity player. Just brings energy day in, day out. She's going to have a great season, I feel. Gracie Maloney started for us at the 4 last year. Just obviously a great athlete. She just provides all the energy we need. She's that key player every championship needs. And then Tegan Malloy, can't say enough good things about her. Tegan has worked so hard this offseason, and it's showing up. She's a great 3-point shooter. I expect good things from her, and looking forward to seeing her.
To me, being a Dakota Cougar is just very honorable. I wear it with pride.
We get a lot of respect knowing that we're a pretty big school, and I feel like a lot of people know of us in the area and know that we're pretty good at sports.
It means hard work and dedication. If I wasn't a Dakota Cougar, I don't know where I would be, to be honest.
I get an opportunity to coach some of the best student athletes around. That has a lot to do with our assistant coaches, Vera and Olivia, who do a great job, and my JV coach, Mike Timpa, and freshman coach, Shelby Weeks.
The connection happened from our coach, Coach V. She made us run and finish at the same time, so we had to push each other and encourage each other one by one, and that's how we started to connect, because we learned how to trust each other.
Our AD, Shane Finney, he's just been so supportive of our program, along with Kevin Koskis and administration. To me, this is the #1 job in Macomb County.
When I say I'm a Dakota Cougar, it's just an awesome feeling.
Jeff, the MAC Red is loaded once again. What's it going to take to upset the 3-time defending champions, Grosse Pointe North?
They got a machine going over there, don't they? They are just so tough. We kind of saw what they did last year, some absolute just stifling defense, fast break with a short bench. So it's going to take a complete A game every time you play them. You got to put the ball in the bucket. I mean, sometimes, you trade stops for stops and you really don't get that lead on them. I'm interested to see what the Cougars can do this year. Last year, not your typical Dakota season. They got deep into the playoffs. Regular season, though, not what you're used to seeing. And I'm really interested to see what that nucleus coming back with big senior leadership, what they can do.
You mentioned that nucleus coming back. I think the Cougars may have one of the best backcourts in all of Macomb with Gabby Brooks Foster, and Simone Andrews coming back.
Yeah, and Gabby came off the bench a lot last year, so she's going to have a lot more minutes, a lot bigger role this year. We know what Simone can do. I mean, she's unbelievable. I mean, they're going to have a really, really nice basketball team this year. Good JV players coming up, and maybe even Coach McEwen played a lot of up-tempo last year, but maybe even try to kick it up a notch this year.
Dakota's game against the Cousino Patriots on December 6th will tip off our basketball coverage here on CBC TV. We will also have the Cougars game against the Eisenhower Eagles on January 5th, as well as their contest against the Blue Devils of Grosse Pointe South on January 9th. The three-time defending MAC Red champions Grosse Pointe North Norsemen will be the opponent on January 29th, and we will have complete coverage of that game right here on Chippewa Valley Cable Television. Next up is the coverage of the boys' game in the Chippewa Valley Cagers. The Big Reds finished last year's campaign 11-12. Their 4-6 record in league play was only good enough for a tie for third place with rivals Dakota. The Grosse Pointe South Blue Devils were loaded last season and breezed through the league with a perfect 10-0 record. The Roseville Panthers finished in second place with a 7-3 record, while the L'Anse Creuse North Crusaders finished in fifth at 3-7. Sterling Heights Stevenson finished at the bottom of the MAC Red standings at 2-8. Chippewa Valley took their district semifinal game over the Fraser Ramblers 52-45, but dropped the title game to L'Anse Creuse by the final score of 59-56 in a rematch of the 2022 title game. Corey Smith will once again look to have his Big Reds prepared to compete in the Macomb Area Conference's top division.
Last year, we had a good group of guys, but it took us a little while to put it together.
I think we were like 4-9 at one point. A real rough start. We had lost a lot from the team that won the MAC Red in the district the year before.
I think it took us a little bit to get on our feet, but once we started playing at our full potential, we were a pretty good team.
We had a lot of talent and a lot of skill throughout everybody, but it didn't take until about 3/4 of the season to where we finally took that next step and showed the potential that we could have been.
We finished really strong. We kind of put it together. We found a new identity. We got some people doing some different things.
We started to put together some good games and get some wins.
I noticed a lot of improvement after the Roseville game last year. I think that was kind of a turning point for us.
We really committed ourselves to defense, putting new pieces in, a couple key pieces. We're football guys. They really came on at the end, and I got to give that team a lot of credit. They could have quit at 4-9, and they really turned it on. At the end of the year, we were playing some really good basketball.
Expectations this year are for sure a MAC Red title. I think we have a lot of skilled guys, and we all work hard.
We're really trying to get back to the building blocks this year.
Play to the level we can, play to our full potential.
Improve from last year, just build on what we already built and just keep going.
It's all about getting better every day, putting the building blocks and let the chips fall where they may. And I keep telling them, they come to practice, they get better, and they focus. Those things are out there.
We're all one team. We all play together, and we're all friends outside of school, and it helps a lot. We built a lot of chemistry over the summer.
What's that one game on the schedule you're most looking forward to competing in?
Dakota, for sure. I think every single season, the #1 game for us is Dakota. Just them being a rivalry and a lot of intensity.
De La Salle, and I think it'd feel really good to beat them.
Probably De La Salle, because it's going to be the most competition.
You know, the two Dakota games are always just such a fun environment. All the kids know each other. The fans show up. So those games are special. The De La Salle game, we've been lucky enough to continue scheduling them. It's a good measuring stick. That's a top 10 team in the program. So every year we're trying to, see how good we are with the best. I like this year that it's earlier in the year. It really gives us a chance to see what we are. And if we're not, we got a lot of time to try to fix things out. Yeah, it's an interesting year. Grosse Pointe South obviously was the cream of the crop last year. Stevenson was really young. They got a year older, so I expect them to be a lot better. Both us and Dakota were, heavily senior dominated, but we're pretty fond of our underclassmen. L'Anse Creuse North arguably returns the best player in the MAC Red. I know he led the MAC Red in scoring last year, Drew Kozel. So I don't know. I would say it's completely up in the air. That's what I told our guys. Anybody could win. If you told us we finished first or last, neither would surprise me. Jordan Wright, he's our 3-year starter. He came up on that MAC Red championship team as a sophomore about 5 games into the year. Wasn't asked to do a whole lot, but man, did he fit in well, and he was the piece we needed at the right time. Last year, we expanded his role, and some college is going to get themselves a diamond in the rough with this kid. You look up after the game, and he's got 15 points, 9 rebounds, 4 blocks, 3 steals, 5 assists. He does everything. Adrian Kosnicki, nobody works harder. He is one of the best leaders I've had. He's one of the few people who can call out his teammates for not working hard enough and does it in the right way. Zach Boschuk is junior wing. Expect big things from Zach. I wouldn't be shocked if he actually led us in scoring. He's really dynamic, extremely smart basketball player, knows when to cut, when to not. He's going to be a special player.
Coach Smith brings actually a lot to the table. He's kind of like a father figure to us. He helps us if we need help.
He does a lot of film study. He's always trying to make us better, and he's very, very smart when it comes to basketball.
He just tries to teach us how to play the game the right way and how to play the game at the next level. Make it about the team more than yourself.
He brings us all together, and it helps us a lot just to get comfortable with each other. He completes us. To be a Chippewa Valley Big Red, it means everything. To just be on the court, be at school, and just have the logo on our chest, it means a lot.
Oh, I think that just means giving your hardest and never giving up.
It means to work hard, take pride in what you do, no shortcuts.
I played here for Coach Voss. I coached with Coach Voss for about 10 years. I've been here 4 years now as the varsity coach, and the culture, the companionship, what you see in practice, they don't fight with each other. It's not like other teams I played on. I attribute a lot to the culture Coach Voss built.
When you're on the team, it really means something. Sense of loyalty and brotherhood.
This program means a lot to me. I got 4 little kids at home, and I don't think I would coach anywhere else. This is the only place I want to be.
Big Red's really going to have to replace a lot of key components of last year's squad. They lose their top defender in Isaiah Joliffe and their point guard in Kalen Shaw.
Those two were dynamite too. Not used to a season like that the Big Reds had last year. I know they finished 3rd in the MAC Red. But what I love about Coach Smith is he always adjusts to the talent he has. So gonna have to play some up-tempo, gonna have to play some defense, maybe even at times slow the game down a little bit. Sometimes you have your best seasons when you're under the radar and no one expects it.
We talk about it in football, the Macomb Area Conference Red Division being one of the toughest in the state of Michigan, but the basketball conference is no slouch either.
No, we got to see Grosse Pointe South last year. The basketball has gotten much, much better. The teams are just outstanding.
Yeah, hard to believe Grosse Pointe South was able to get through MAC Red, play 10-0. That just doesn't happen.
No, usually there's someone along the way that just has a night on you. It is so hard to run that table 10-0 when you play everybody twice, and especially that second time around, being able to kind of game plan for you a little different. The way Grosse Pointe South was, everyone was gunning for them last year, so everyone was sharing tape and trying to somehow knock them off, and they were just a very tough, resilient basketball team. Football for a long time has kind of ruled the roost in terms of, one of the bragging rights for the top conferences in the state, but slowly over the last several years, you've seen the basketball teams starting to creep up and making some noise statewide, so that's nice to see.
You can catch your Big Reds in action all season long, including their scheduled games against rival Dakota on December 14th and January 16th, as well as matchups with the Stevenson Titans on January 4th and L'Anse Creuse North Crusaders on January 10th. The defending MAC Red champions, Grosse Pointe South Blue Devils, will be the opponent on January 18th. That game and all of our sports content can be viewed on YouTube via the Chippewa Valley Sports page. Please subscribe so you can receive notification of when all of our programming is available to you. We close out the show with the Dakota Cougars, who finished last season 9-16. As mentioned earlier in the show, they finished in a tie for third place in the MAC Red. It was the first time the Cougars finished with an overall record below 500 since the 2012 season. However, Dakota had plenty of success in the postseason as they captured a district title over the Port Huron Northern Huskies 80-77. The Cougars season would end in regional play to Grosse Pointe South by the final score of 48-45. The Cougars will look to rebound this season and once again contend for league title, something they have done 7 of the last 9 seasons.
Okay, Coach, take me back to last season. Just kind of give me your overall thoughts on last year.
Last year was a tough year for us in the regular season. We had our struggles, but at the end of the year, we actually, won our district championship. We kind of ended on a good note going into this year. Obviously didn't prevail in the regionals against Grosse Pointe South, but it was a good game, and we played well at the end of the year. Overall, though, it was a rough year for us as far as record-wise, and we definitely look to improve this year on what we did last year.
What maybe sort of are the expectations now for this year's team?
They're always high here at Dakota. We always, first expectation is always to compete every night and play against very good teams in the regular season, which our schedule is the same as it's been in the past. We play very good basketball teams around the county and the state, and then compete in the MAC Red, because MAC Red's a very good conference. We want to be able to compete night in and night out in that MAC Red and have our boys prepared to play it in the MAC Red.
What's the competition look like within the MAC Red this year?
This is probably one of the tougher years to predict. Grosse Pointe South obviously had a wonderful year last year. Anthony Bernard went on to college. They still have a very good player over there in Carter Richards. Obviously, they're going to be tough to beat. L'Anse Creuse North's got a very good player and a good team with Drew Kozel over there. Chippewa has got good athletes. You got Roseville and ourselves, and it's a tough MAC Red.
Talk individually about each of your 3 captains and what they bring to the table.
Both Wooters, Mike and Matt, the twins, had a really good offseason. They, after baseball was over, they really dedicated themselves to basketball, and they got better and better. And they're going to, be big parts of what we're doing this year in the backcourt. Matthew Bomarito is another captain that been around for 4 years, and this is his time. This is his time. He's a good basketball player, a great kid, and like all the seniors are, but those 3 in particular were named captains, and they've done a great job in the off season to lead us, and we're hoping they can do the same on the court during the regular season.
Just kind of give me your overall thoughts on last year.
Last season was great. Last year we struggled at the beginning of the season, and we found a way in the playoffs to make a little run.
We had an up and down year. Our expectations this year is just play better than last year, obviously, but I think our group this year has got a lot more chemistry.
Winning the MAC Red, win a district championship, win the MAC Red.
What do you think was the main reason you guys flipped things around?
Coach got on us at practice, worked harder, and it went to the game, and we got even better. Working harder in practice, watching more film.
As playoffs got to it, we ramped up practices. Our defense got a lot better.
Let's talk about Coach for a second. What does Coach Toko bring to the table to make you guys better basketball players?
He's always prepared with huddle, with scouting. He always has a game plan for us when we play another team. Coach Toko always is on us about working harder and being better, and I think he's the greatest coach ever.
He's got a great mind for the game, on defense especially. Everybody's getting it quickly because of him.
What's one game this season you're most looking forward to playing in and why?
Chip.
Cass Tech at home. Probably Chip because we lost both last year, and maybe Cass Tech. We played Cass Tech in a scrimmage earlier in the season already and lost, and now we want to get back at them.
It's been 13, 14 years now, and as a varsity coach, and I've established some great relationships with young men and their families. Most important part, to have those young men come back for the alumni games and be able to talk and see them, and then see some of our boys' success that they've had going on to college and playing high-level basketball, or playing any type of basketball in college. Even the guys that aren't playing anymore are still playing over rec leagues and doing that kind of stuff, and that makes me proud. And then obviously, I can't go without mentioning Ryan Rollins, who's in the NBA now, and staying close with those guys and understanding that what basketball meant to them is what it means to me. It's something very important, and we're establishing the same type of relationship with these young men.
Jeff Vitale is back one final time, and last season was a bit of a disappointment for the Dakota Cougars, especially in the regular season.
A lot of ups and downs, injuries, having lots of different starting fives. Coach Toko really had to work hard and kind of jumble lineups. But they got it going at the right time and made a nice little run there, didn't they, Brad?
Yeah, they sure did. Under Coach Toko, this Dakota team has been perennial powers. Prior to last season, 9 straight seasons of 13 or more wins, including those 26 wins in 2016, 7 league titles over the last 9 years. The accolades go on and on and on. How do the Cougars get back to their winning ways?
I think this year is putting that chip on your shoulder. You were under the radar last year, 4th in the division, and now it's kind of, I think maybe the motto is take back your rightful place, so to speak. It's not going to be easy. The division's loaded again. Roseville, Grosse Pointe South, Chippewa. It doesn't get any easier every year. His non-conference schedule is always just brutal. He plays everybody, and I think that really gets him ready for league play. It's kind of like Michigan State mentality. They play everybody kind of in their non-conference, and I think they got an early game with Brother Rice. I think Catholic Central I saw was on their schedule. I love how he schedules. I think it's a heck of a basketball team he's got, and again, like we said with Chippewa, sometimes being under the radar is a good thing.
Along with the 2 rivalry games with Chippewa Valley on December 14th and January 16th, you'll be able to see Dakota take on non-conference foe Cass Tech on January 8th. The Cougars will square off with MAC Red Division rivals the Panthers of Roseville on January 24th, and will take on the Lance Cruz North Crusaders on January 30th. Looking forward to calling the action all season long, as all 4 of our teams here in the Chippewa Valley School District should provide plenty of excitement. We wish them all good luck this year. A big thank you to the head coaches and athletic departments at Chippewa Valley and Dakota. This show wouldn't be possible without them or our talented crew here at Chippewa Valley Cable Television. For my broadcast partner, Jeff Vitale, I'm Brad Fedders. Thanks for watching.